The people on Wikipedia really have their hands full. All these mysterious people vanishing into thin air, it never stops surprising me. I found another case that stood out to me. It's the mysterious disappearance of Jean Spangler. She was an American dancer who went missing in 1949 under mysterious circumstances. Of course, I wouldn't be sharing this case if it were solved. Jean was a dancer who worked with the Earl Carroll Theatre and Florentine Gardens. She was still pretty young when she got married in 1942 to a man named Dexter Banner. I'm guessing it was a good marriage at first, since they also had a daughter that they named Christine. However, a marriage can always go down, and sadly it did, since they were divorced in 1946. 4 years together isn't very long. What ensued was something not uncommon. Both parents wanted custody over their child, and as with most cases, Jean was granted it. However, another website actually stated that at first her husband got custody, because apparently Jean was a very unfaithful woman or something along that line. It was kind of strange that Wikipedia itself didn't even mention any of this, so I don't know if this is true or just something someone made up, but I just wanted to put it in there. At the end of the day, us guys, you just can't trust us with a child, so it's always for best if it goes with the woman or the mother in this case. What makes this a pretty eerie case was the fact that she moved back to her mother's place, who was named Florence. You would think that would be a safe place to live, but apparently they lost sight of Jean not long after. It was October 7th, 1949, when Jean decided to go out. It was around 5 p.m, her daughter stayed at home and was taken care of by her sister-in-law, Sophie. She claimed she was about to go meet up with Dexter to discuss child support payments. Once that would be solved, she planned to go to work on a night shoot for a film. Eventually, a store near her home was the last place that she would be seen. The clerk, working at the time, said that she seemed to be waiting for someone. Her mom at this moment in time wasn't home but visiting other people. Her sister-in-law was the one who contacted the police to file a missing person report. Now Wikipedia describes the police investigation as follows, and there's another website, palmspringslive.com, that also describes some interesting details about this case. So let me share with you what's known. Though Spangler had told her sister-in-law that she was going to work on a movie set after she met with her ex-husband, this lead went nowhere. She had worked as an extra and bit part actress for several different Hollywood studios, but none of those studios had any work in progress or were even open on the evening of October 7th. Police questioned Spangler's ex-husband, Dexter Banner, about her statement to her sister-in-law that she was going to meet him about his child support payments. He said that he had not seen his former wife for several weeks. His new wife, Lynn Lasky Banner, to whom he had been married only 1 month, stated that he was with her at the time of her disappearance. 2 days later, on October 9th, Spangler's purse was found near the Ferndale entrance to Griffith Park in Los Angeles, with both of the straps on one side torn loose, as if it had been ripped from her arm. 60 police officers and over 100 volunteers searched the area, but no other clues were found. There was no money in the purse. Her sister-in-law said that she had no money when she left her house the evening of her disappearance, so the police ruled out robbery as a motive. There was an unfinished note in the purse addressed to a Kirk, which read, "Can't wait any longer, going to see Dr. Scott. It will work best this way while mother is away." The note ended with a comma, as if it had not been finished. Neither Kirk nor Dr. Scott could be located, and neither Spangler's family nor her friends knew anyone by those names. When Spangler's mother, Florence, returned to Los Angeles, she told police that someone named Kirk had picked up Jean at her house twice, but stayed in his car and did not come in. Police questioned every doctor with the last name Scott in Los Angeles, but none of them had a patient with the last name Spangler or Banner, her former married name. Spangler had once been involved with an abusive man she called Scotty, but her lawyer said she had not seen him since 1945. Jean had recently completed filming a bit part in the film Young Man with a Horn starring Kirk Douglas. Douglas was vacationing in Palm Springs when he heard about the disappearance. He called the police and told them he was not the Kirk mentioned in the note. When interviewed by the head of the investigating team, Douglas stated that he had heard of her name and knew that Spangler had been an extra in his new film, but he didn't know her personally. Spangler's girlfriend told police that she was 3 months pregnant when she disappeared and that she had talked about having an abortion, which was illegal at the time. Witnesses who frequented the same nightclubs and bars that Spangler did told police they had heard of a former medical student known as Doc, who performed abortions for money, but police could not locate him nor prove that he existed. Jean had been seen with Davy O'Gill, an associate of infamous mobster Mickey Cohen in Palm Springs, California, who disappeared 2 days after Spangler did. This led police to investigate the possibility that Spangler and O'Gill, who was under indictment for conspiracy, had fled to avoid prosecution. In 1950, a customs agent in El Paso, Texas, reported seeing O'Gill and a woman who looked like Spangler in a hotel in El Paso. The hotel clerk identified Spangler from a photograph, but neither Davy O'Gill nor Jean Spangler's name appeared on the hotel register. The Los Angeles Police Department continued the search and circulated Spangler's picture for several years, in an unsuccessful attempt to find her or any reliable leads. Columnist Luella Parsons offered a $1,000 reward for information concerning Spangler's disappearance or location. Despite a nationwide search, no further clues have surfaced. Possible sightings included Northern and Southern California, Phoenix, Arizona, and Mexico City over the next 2 years, but none of those sightings could be validated. She is still listed as a missing person, and the LAPD has not closed the case. Well, she's been missing for a very, very long time, so she is probably dead. I hate to say it, but I mean, at the time of her disappearance she was 26. She might be alive, but then she would be really old, so she might be suffering from amnesia, I don't know. That might sound offensive, I'm sorry about that, but you know, that's how it works with old people sometimes. Now, the website PalmSpringsLife.com has another interesting part about this whole situation. After they started searching for Jean, they state here on her website that there was a man named Robert Cummings. Cummings, that's a very interesting last name, especially the first 3 letters. Star of Pretty Girl, the last film Jean had been working on. He threw some light on who the someone might have been when he told police 2 weeks before her disappearance he had been sitting on his dressing room steps at Columbia Studios when the pretty starlet had walked by whistling, and they mean Jean by that. "You sound happy," Robert remembered telling her. "I am," Jean replied. "I have a new romance." "Is it serious?" "Not really," Jean told the popular star, "but I'm having the time of my life." The only clue the police had to the identity of Jean's romantic interest was the name Kirk. Hearing news reports about the case, actor Kirk Douglas phoned investigators, as we mentioned, about that he was vacationing and that he wasn't the person. Now that's actually the only thing that is different from the Wikipedia information that's available, and it's a pretty interesting detail as well, because if she had a new love interest in her life, then either she ran away from home, which doesn't make a lot of sense for a 26-year-old to do, also when she has a daughter, so that would be really harsh on her part to leave her daughter like that. So I think what happened is actually foul play. I mean, that's the only conclusion I can get to for myself, because all the other facts, if you put them together, it doesn't seem like just someone who wanted to start a new life somewhere else. And I only say that because she had a daughter. And I like to believe that she was a good person, but maybe she wasn't. Maybe she was really, sorry for the lack of a better word, but maybe she really was a bitch. Because that's what you are if you leave your child like that. So I think it's safe to say that something terrible had happened to her, and it's pretty interesting to realize that nobody ever was able to figure it out. And that's what makes any of these disappearances pretty creepy in and of themselves. Anyways, you can find all the source links in the description box below, so you can read all the information up for yourself if you want. And if you found the story interesting, please hit the like button below. And as always, dear viewer, have sweet dreams!